Hello, this is Dr. Bruno Hardman, and welcome to my medical channel. Here, we talk about health, prevention, and the latest treatment methods.
Imagine I told you that a common white powder you use for cleaning your sink or deodorizing your fridge could actually assist in restoring blood flow to your penis. I am completely serious. For thousands of men above 60, including many of my own patients, something as simple as baking soda has brought significant improvements in their circulation, erectile function, and even boosted their confidence in intimate moments. My name is Dr. Bruno Hardman, and I have devoted more than 30 years to treating older men who face problems many are too ashamed to discuss. These issues include poor circulation, weak erections, low energy levels, and emotional exhaustion. I hold a professorship in urology and specialize in men's health, and I firmly believe that the most effective remedies are not always found in a prescription bottle. Sometimes, the solution is already in your kitchen cabinet. Here is a fact that most men never hear. Baking soda is not just a household cleaner or a remedy for heartburn. When used properly, it supports the production of nitric oxide, enhances blood oxygen levels, balances the body's pH, and even improves the effectiveness of your testosterone. All these aspects are crucial for maintaining strong and lasting erections beyond the age of 60. In this video, I will show you 10 incredible scientifically supported ways baking soda can help men regain their vigor and perform with renewed strength and confidence. Later on, I will share a special morning mix that one of my patients tried with fantastic results. Before we start, if you are a man over 60 interested in natural methods to stay robust, lively, and self-assured, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Activate the notification bell, because you will not want to overlook more scientifically supported tips crafted especially for you. If this subject resonates with you, type 1 in the comments, and if it does not, type 0. My goal is to continually enhance and offer content that genuinely benefits you. Now, let us dive into the first unexpected way baking soda can help improve erection strength in men over 60, which is closely connected to the pH balance of your blood. Many men are unaware that as the body ages and becomes more acidic, it quietly constricts the blood vessels, obstructing the smooth circulation essential for a strong erection. This brings us to the initial advantage of baking soda. It helps regulate your blood's pH to boost blood flow. When I met Harold, he was 69, recently retired, and clearly upset not only about his stamina, but also about something he hesitated to express. After a moment, he admitted, "Doctor, I just do not feel like myself anymore. I try to get in the mood, but my body does not respond like it used to." His blood tests showed mostly normal results, and his heart was in good condition. However, upon closer examination, I found a subtle but important detail. His internal pH was excessively acidic. Most men have never heard this, but aging can cause the body's pH to lean toward acidity, and even a slight change can have significant consequences. This acidity creates a persistent tension inside blood vessels, causing them to narrow, stiffen, and reduce the blood flow necessary for healthy function. The body needs to provide rapid and extensive blood flow for a healthy, natural erection. Imagine trying to water your garden with a hose that is squeezed tight. This is where baking soda quietly proves its worth. Acting as a natural alkalizer, it helps your body restore balance to its internal pH. When consumed properly, typically mixed with water on an empty stomach, it supports improved blood fluidity, encourages arteries to relax, and creates an environment where oxygen and nutrients can circulate freely once again. What about Harold? I suggested a simple morning ritual involving a small amount of baking soda combined with lemon water. 3 weeks later, he arrived at my office wearing a broad smile and moving with newfound energy. "Something feels different," he explained. "It's subtle, but I sense my body is alive again. Even my wife has noticed the change." This initial adjustment of balancing pH might seem basic, but forms the essential groundwork for everything that follows. Better blood flow means more oxygen, nutrients, and vitality delivered to critical areas. Once balanced, the benefits extend far beyond just physical intimacy. Yet, suppose I told you baking soda's effects extend beyond enhancing blood circulation. It also combats hidden inflammation that has silently been sabotaging your performance for years. Let us explore this second advantage and why it might surpass the first in importance. Benefit number 2 involves reducing inflammation within the blood vessels. One of the most overlooked obstacles to a man's vitality after turning 60 is not low testosterone, but inflammation. It is slow, silent, and continuous. I refer to it as the quiet thief. It does not announce itself loudly or cause immediate trouble, yet over time it gradually damages your blood vessels, diminishes your energy, lowers sensitivity, and affects your erections. I recall working with Samuel, aged 71, who had a strong voice and a proud presence, but his eyes revealed a different truth. "Doctor," he said, "it feels like my body is always against me. Even when I want to be close to my wife, I just don't seem able anymore." When we checked his blood work, he was not diabetic and had his cholesterol under control, but his inflammatory markers such as CRP were high. That gave us a vital hint. What many men fail to understand is that chronic, low-level inflammation stiffens the lining of blood vessels called the endothelium. This area is critical because it produces nitric oxide. Nitric oxide sends the message to penile tissue to relax and fill with blood. However, when inflammation dominates, this process becomes blocked. As a result, blood flow is limited, sensitivity declines, and the body cannot react as it once did. This explains why baking soda can serve as a potent partner in fighting this problem. Numerous studies have demonstrated that sodium bicarbonate triggers anti-inflammatory mechanisms, especially in the spleen and kidneys. It helps to calm the immune system's excessive reaction, particularly the one affecting the vascular system. When inflammation decreases, blood vessels expand, and nitric oxide circulates freely, allowing erections to occur naturally rather than being forced. Mike Carter began a simple routine. Half a teaspoon of baking soda dissolved in water each morning, followed by a 15-minute walk. Within 4 weeks, he noticed not only more frequent morning erections, but also increased energy and mental sharpness throughout the day. He described it as if something inside him had been cleared out. This is precisely the sensation that comes from reducing inflammation, less tension, and more comfort. However, the most intriguing part is that although inflammation can be a major obstacle, the body still requires a crucial chemical message to trigger an erection. That message is nitric oxide. Surprisingly, baking soda plays an important role in enhancing the body's ability to produce more nitric oxide. Let me explain why this is significant. This brings us to the third benefit, which could be a real game changer: supporting natural nitric oxide generation. If you have noticed that things no longer respond like they once did, the reason might be linked to a molecule your body used to produce effortlessly, but now finds difficult to create: nitric oxide. This molecule ignites the entire process. It instructs blood vessels to widen, signals smooth muscles to relax, and most importantly, directs blood flow into the penis when the right moment arrives. Without this molecule, arousal may exist mentally, yet physically, nothing follows. I recall a man named Thomas who experienced similar issues. At 66 years old, relatively healthy and still active, Mike Carter was not experiencing depression, and his hormone levels were in fairly good condition. However, during our conversation, he shared something that stayed with me. "Doc, I want to be intimate. I still have the desire, but it feels like my body is no longer sending any signals. It's as if the switch just will not turn on." This perfectly describes the feeling of a nitric oxide deficiency. Your brain agrees, your heart agrees, but your blood vessels remain silent. Here is the encouraging part. Baking soda does not contain nitric oxide, yet it helps create the ideal internal conditions for the body to produce more naturally. When the body becomes excessively acidic, nitric oxide breaks down more quickly. Baking soda assists in alkalizing the blood, protecting the lining of blood vessels, and reducing oxidative stress. All these factors help preserve and improve nitric oxide function. In one research, athletes who took sodium bicarbonate supplements showed enhanced vascular performance and endurance, partly because their bodies managed oxygen and nitric oxide production better under pressure. What benefits endurance also supports erections, as both depend on rapid expansive blood flow and vessel responsiveness. Mike decided to try it. We began with small steps, mixing baking soda with lemon water every morning and combining it with breathing exercises to stimulate nitric oxide release. After several weeks, he told me, "I am waking up with something I have not seen in years." More importantly, He felt that his body was finally reacting again on its own. Nitric oxide represents only a portion of the entire picture. After blood arrives in the necessary areas, it still must rapidly and effectively supply oxygen to your tissues. If this delivery process is slow, your performance will suffer correspondingly. Fortunately, baking soda can assist in this regard too. Let me clarify why in the next advantage. Advantage number 4. Enhances oxygen transport to erectile tissue. One of the least discussed but vital factors for robust erections, especially after 60, is oxygen. Not just general oxygen in the body, but the specific, focused oxygen carried straight to the blood vessels and tissues within your penis. Without sufficient oxygen, even if blood reaches the region, the tissue cannot fully expand or react. This leads to weak, brief, or entirely missing erections. I recall a conversation with Mike Carter, 72, a retired fire chief who took pride in being strong, dependable, meticulous, and in command. Yet now, his expression held gravity. "Doctor, I just feel like I am running out of fuel down there. Everything feels slower, heavier, duller." His tests revealed solid cardiovascular indicators, but one figure was notable. His oxygen saturation level was on the lower side. This situation is quite common. As we grow older, particularly when acidity or inflammation is present, our red blood cells become less effective at transporting oxygen than before. Here, baking soda offers a subtle yet vital benefit. It not only lowers acidity, but also helps to enhance the efficiency of how oxygen is carried. Your hemoglobin delivers oxygen to your tissues. When your blood becomes more alkaline, hemoglobin is able to carry and release oxygen more efficiently. This means an increased supply of oxygen to the penile tissue at the start of arousal, leading to firmer and longer-lasting erections. Mike Carter started a morning habit, slowly drinking a small glass of water mixed with half a teaspoon of baking soda before breakfast. Within several weeks, he noticed more than just higher overall energy. He specifically reported enhanced sensation during intimate moments. He described it as feeling warmer, like everything was flowing naturally once again. That warmth, he felt, is genuine oxygenation in action. When oxygen reaches its destination, your body feels vibrant, alert, reactive, and fully capable. But oxygen's role is not limited to arousal. It also provides vital energy to the tiny muscles inside your penis that trap and maintain blood during an erection. If these muscles are tired or sluggish, performance declines even if blood circulation is good. This leads us to the next advantage, one that relates directly to your body's hidden power source and how baking soda can naturally boost it. Benefit number 5 is increased mitochondrial energy in smooth muscle cells. Many men I work with have never heard about the smooth muscle cells within their penis. These unsung champions are crucial for strong, enduring erections. They do more than just help blood flow into the penis. They ensure it is securely held in place. Maintaining an erection long enough for complete intimacy depends on one essential factor: energy. I recall my patient Mike Carter. He was 68 years old, a retired mechanic with a sharp mind. During our initial visit, he glanced downward and softly admitted, "It is not just that I cannot stay hard like before. It feels as if the entire system shuts down midway. It is like I simply run out of fuel." That image stayed with me. When I explained how the energy-producing engines inside his smooth muscle cells, called mitochondria, were likely slowing down, everything started to click for him. Mitochondria are the power plants within your cells. They absorb fuel and generate usable energy. Yet, as people age, especially when exposed to chronic acidity or oxidative stress, these mitochondria become less efficient. When they falter, erectile function struggles as well. The penis cannot keep blood because the smooth muscle lacks the power to maintain it. This is where baking soda provides a subtle yet impactful enhancement by diminishing lactic acid accumulation and supporting a more alkaline body environment. Baking soda assists mitochondria in working better. It establishes the internal balance necessary for these microenergy factories to operate more efficiently, particularly in the smooth muscle tissue of the penis. Mike Carter started using baking soda 3 times a week alongside gentle morning stretches and deep breathing exercises. After about 1 month, he shared words I will always remember. "It feels like the engine is starting up once more. Not flawless, but alive." That is what renewing your mitochondria feels like. Quiet, steady, and deeply invigorating. Now here comes the intriguing part. Your mitochondria are not the only elements in your body influenced by acidity. Your hormones, particularly testosterone, are affected by your internal environment as well. So next, we will examine how baking soda not only increases energy, but also helps your body react to testosterone more efficiently. Benefit number 6 is improving testosterone receptor sensitivity. This is a common complaint I hear from men constantly. They say, "Doctor, my testosterone levels seem fine, yet I still feel exhausted, unmotivated, and nothing is changing in the bedroom." And their observation is accurate. Their hormone levels are usually within normal limits. But what I explain next tends to astonish them. Testosterone is only part of the equation. The other part, often overlooked, is whether your body can effectively utilize the testosterone present. This depends on something called receptor sensitivity. In other words, how well your cells detect the hormone's message and respond to it. I will never forget Martin, who is 64 years old and a retired police officer. He had a solid build and a clear mind, but his eyes showed defeat. He said, "They told me my testosterone is good, doctor, so why do I still feel drained?" We conducted further tests, and indeed, his testosterone was sufficient. Yet, I suspected something else. Years of inflammation and internal acidity can impair your hormone receptors, making them slow and even resistant. It feels like shouting at a barrier. The information exists, but it never reaches its destination. This is where baking soda offers unexpected support for many men. By softly neutralizing acidity and reducing inflammation, it enhances the internal conditions in which your hormones function. It does not directly boost testosterone levels, but rather removes interference. This helps your hormone receptors operate more effectively, enabling the testosterone already present in your body to connect, activate, and perform its role. Mike Carter began a routine involving small quantities of baking soda mixed in water a few mornings each week, combined with some light resistance exercises. Around 6 weeks later, he returned with a smile, saying, "My drive is returning, not just in the bedroom, but throughout my life. It feels like something switched back on." That change was not caused by an increase in testosterone, but by his body finally responding to the hormone as it should. Therefore, baking soda aids erections not only by improving circulation, but also by fine-tuning the hormonal pathways that fuel desire, determination, and vitality. Still, maintaining balanced hormones is only part of the story when it comes to physical performance. Your essential organs, especially the liver and kidneys, play an important role in detoxification, hormone transformation, and blood circulation. The effects of baking soda on these organs might astonish you. Let's explore benefit number 7. It gently detoxifies the liver and kidneys. One often ignored reason men begin to lose their physical, sexual, and emotional vitality after the age of 60 is closely connected to these organs' health. There is an often overlooked factor when it comes to performance and well-being, which is the toxic burden we carry. Over time, our bodies accumulate a range of chemicals, waste substances, and even old hormones that no longer play a beneficial role. 2 vital organs take on the responsibility of cleansing this buildup: the liver and the kidneys. When these organs become fatigued or slow, the entire system suffers. Blood quality decreases, hormone levels lose balance, circulation weakens. This can also affect your mood and mental sharpness, causing them to decline gradually. I have observed this pattern repeatedly in men who seem outwardly healthy, but internally feel trapped and stuck. I remember a particular patient, Carlos, aged 70, a retired accountant with a disciplined diet and no history of smoking. Despite that, he described feeling toxic, as if something deep inside was not right. His blood pressure had steadily risen, his libido diminished, and his energy levels were consistently low. Upon reviewing his lab results, we noticed mildly elevated uric acid, slight strain on the kidneys, and indicators of a sluggish liver. While nothing appeared severe, it was enough to explain his symptoms. This is where baking soda can quietly make a difference. It assists in lowering the acid burden on the kidneys and encourages a healthier pH balance in the urine, which facilitates filtration. For liver health, it supports improved bile flow and reduces inflammation, easing the load of metabolic waste. Baking soda works gently rather than aggressively, making it an ideal choice for older men who require additional support without overwhelming their organs. Carlos started taking a small amount of baking soda every other morning, along with plenty of water and warm lemon water to enhance the effect. 3 weeks later, Mike Carter shared a simple yet powerful observation. He said, "My body feels lighter, as if I am not weighed down as much as before." Additionally, his sense of intimacy began to return gradually but clearly. When the organs responsible for processing hormones and blood improve their function, everything else starts to react positively. Now let's push this idea a little further. You may have heard me discuss performance and flow, but imagine if baking soda could actually help lessen cravings and stubborn abdominal fat that quietly drains testosterone and makes achieving erections more difficult. What follows might be even more unexpected. Advantage number 8 involves decreasing sugar cravings and aiding weight loss. If you are a man past 60, you have likely noticed how the fat around your midsection clings more persistently, even with a healthier diet than ever before. Those sudden urges for sugary or carbohydrate-rich foods can appear late at night, after meals, or just before sleeping, and feel tougher to resist than in your younger years. I recall Jack, a 66-year-old former high school football coach. He came into my office, pressed his hand over his belly, and said, "This right here is ruining my life. I cannot get rid of it, and I am sure it is destroying my motivation." Jack had already tried reducing calories, eating more vegetables, and walking daily, yet the cravings, low energy, and decline in bedroom performance remained. What many men fail to realize is that abdominal fat is not only a matter of storage, it is deeply connected to hormones. That persistent belly fat produces an enzyme called aromatase, which transforms testosterone into estrogen. Therefore, the more fat you carry around your stomach, the more testosterone you lose. When your hormone levels are out of balance, everything from your libido to blood flow and overall performance begins to decline. This is where baking soda takes on a surprisingly important role. By aiding in balancing your body's pH levels, it might help maintain steadier blood sugar throughout the day. Stable blood sugar can reduce intense sugar cravings that often undermine your efforts. Without the ups and downs of fluctuating blood sugar, the body may gradually switch back into burning fat, especially in the abdominal area. Mike Carter adopted a simple new routine: baking soda and lemon water first thing in the morning, followed by a protein intake and some light activity. Within approximately 4 weeks, his cravings decreased significantly. His belly started to shrink, and most importantly, his confidence began to rebuild. He said, "I don't feel out of control anymore. When I see myself in the mirror, I no longer see a man who is giving up." Cutting down on sugar and fat, improving hormonal balance, and regaining control can open the door to the life you truly deserve. However, there is another crucial factor that many men tend to ignore. What if the difficulties you experience in the bedroom are not just due to physical causes, but also neurological ones? Imagine if your nervous system is sending incorrect signals at inappropriate times. Remarkably, baking soda has the potential to help reset this system. Let's explore this further. Benefit number 9 supports calming the nervous system. There is an aspect of male performance that often goes unnoticed. It is not about circulation or testosterone levels, but rather your nervous system. If the connection between your brain and nerves is out of sync with the moment, even the fittest body can fail to respond. I have witnessed this repeatedly. Men who crave intimacy feel the urge, yet when the moment arrives, their bodies do not cooperate. More often than not, the issue is not physical, but neurological. I recall Mike Carter, 70 years old, retired military, with confident posture and sharp eyes. Yet his voice softened when he explained why he had come. "I still love my wife," he said, "but whenever we get close, I freeze. My body just shuts down." It was clear this was not about hormones or cardiovascular health. This was a nervous system trapped in a state of heightened alertness, stuck in fight-or-flight mode. Many men are unaware of this. As we grow older, the balance between our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems can change. Stress, trauma, inflammation, and lack of restful sleep can keep the body in a tense state. When this occurs, your brain literally restricts blood flow to the penis. This is a survival reaction that interferes with intimacy. Using baking soda might sound unusual, but research is emerging. By decreasing overall acidity and inflammation in the body, it supports the parasympathetic nervous system, the one responsible for rest and relaxation, to take charge. This shift allows the body to relax and function more naturally during intimate moments, the kind of relaxation your body requires to feel secure, open, and responsive is truly unique. Some studies even indicate that the kidneys and spleen, when supported by bicarbonate, reduce the amount of stress signals sent to the brain. Mike Carter began incorporating baking soda into his routine just a few times weekly, coupling it with breathing techniques I had taught him. Within several weeks, the change was remarkable. He said, "It feels like my body finally feels safe enough to reconnect." This transformation impacted him deeply, not only in his physical state, but emotionally as well. When your body achieves a state of calm, it enables everything else to function smoothly. You experience stronger connections. Your responses become more natural. You regain the flow essential for high performance. But imagine if we could enhance all these improvements further by combining baking soda with a simple, natural ingredient. That is exactly what we will reveal in the next benefit. And believe me, you will not want to miss it. Benefit number 10 works powerfully when combined with lemon or apple cider vinegar. After discussing blood circulation, oxygen, nitric oxide, energy, hormone balance, and calming the nervous system, there remains one final element I want to introduce. This small natural mixture has shown surprising effects in men over 60, and it is likely something already available in your kitchen. Lemon juice or apple cider vinegar on their own are both exceptional. They are packed with antioxidants aid digestion and help maintain stable blood sugar levels. Yet when combined with baking soda, an extraordinary reaction occurs. This natural interaction creates a gentle fizz within the body that encourages the flow of bile, reduces overall acidity, and supports liver health along with vascular strength. More importantly, this mixture enhances the effectiveness of baking soda by helping it access the appropriate tissues without stressing the body. I will always remember Mike Carter, 74, a widower for 5 years, who was cautiously re-entering the world of intimacy, but felt as if he was stuck. We talked through the usual suspects like exercise, nutrition, and circulation. But something essential was still absent, so I recommended he begin his mornings with a simple habit: 1 glass of warm water, a squeeze of lemon, and a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, slowly consumed on an empty stomach. About a month later, he returned with a radiant smile. "I wasn't expecting much," he admitted, "but I awaken feeling invigorated. My digestion is lighter, my mind clearer, and my responses have improved, if you catch my drift." That blend of baking soda with lemon or apple cider vinegar does not force changes. Instead, it nourishes the entire system: the gut, blood vessels, nerves, and hormones. It helps restore balance in the body so it can operate as it was meant to. That is the key. Genuine, lasting transformation is not found in a single pill or miracle cure. It comes from re-establishing equilibrium and providing the body with what it needs to heal and react naturally. Baking soda, especially when combined with the right components, serves as a valuable resource. Now that you have discovered all 10 advantages, you may be asking yourself how to properly and regularly incorporate baking soda into your everyday life. This is precisely what I will guide you through in the final segment of this video. Let's bring everything together, and I will demonstrate exactly how to begin. In conclusion, if you have reached this point, I want to express my gratitude, not just for watching, but for showing genuine concern about your health, your future, and your masculinity by remaining inquisitive. Because at its core, this is about curiosity, determination, and the readiness to regain control over your body, even after 60. We have explored many topics today. 10 unique and impactful methods by which something as simple and often ignored as baking soda can boost stronger, healthier erections without medication, side effects, or embarrassment. We started by explaining how baking soda helps regulate your blood pH, establishing the perfect conditions for smoother blood flow and enhanced vascular function. This is where the foundation begins. Following that, we discussed its role in reducing inflammation within your blood vessels, eliminating one of the most silent and dangerous barriers to male performance. Then, we'd revealed how it supports your body's natural production of nitric oxide, a crucial chemical messenger signaling your blood vessels to dilate when arousal initiates. However, even if nitric oxide circulates effectively, your body still requires oxygen. We began by exploring how baking soda enhances the ability of your red blood cells to deliver oxygen precisely to the tissues that require it most. From this point, we delved deeper into the cellular level, focusing on the smooth muscle cells within your penis. Baking soda aids these cells in generating more mitochondrial energy, enabling them to better retain and sustain blood flow. Next, we examined how baking soda increases the sensitivity of testosterone receptors, allowing your body to respond more efficiently to the hormones you already possess, rather than feeling completely drained. Our discussion went beyond just hormones. We investigated how baking soda supports the body's detoxification mechanisms through the liver and kidneys, organs that quietly uphold every system in the body, including sexual function. We also addressed a challenge many men face silently: persistent belly fat, intense sugar cravings, and the hormonal imbalance that accompanies them. Maintaining a balanced pH can help regain control, curb these cravings, and steer your metabolism towards the proper direction. Then, we turned our attention to the nervous system, a deeply personal and emotional aspect of health that can hinder performance even if everything else appears fine. Baking soda helps by soothing internal inflammation and reducing nerve tension, allowing your body to relax enough to connect both physically and emotionally. Finally, we combined all these benefits through a simple natural remedy: baking soda mixed with lemon juice or apple cider vinegar. This morning routine has assisted countless men in reigniting their vitality. Aiding digestion, restoring the body's chemical balance, and regaining a sense of presence in both mind and body are all achievable goals. Now, I want to address you personally. Not as a doctor, but as someone who has spent many years hearing men share their most vulnerable experiences. If you have been facing difficulties, feeling frustrated, ashamed, or embarrassed, understand that there is hope. You are not damaged beyond repair. Your body might simply require some care, patience, and a few minor adjustments to restore equilibrium. Baking soda will not solve every problem immediately. However, used thoughtfully, it can serve as a helpful starting step, gently guiding your body toward the healing environment it needs to respond positively. Combine this with quality sleep, focused breathing exercises, gentle physical activity, and a measure of confidence in your body's remarkable ability to recover. The reality is that even beyond 60 years of age, your potential for strength, passion, and emotional connection remains intact. You are worthy of these experiences. It is never too late to embark on this journey. If this message resonates with you, I urge you to discuss it with your doctor. Try it cautiously and observe how your body reacts. As always, I will continue supporting you by offering genuine and practical guidance to help you live with greater strength, longevity, and fulfillment. If this video brought fresh understanding, hope, or simply made you feel recognized, please take a small but powerful action. Like this video not only for me, but so other men like you, might discover this valuable information. The more interaction this video gathers, the further it reaches those who may be quietly struggling at this moment, looking for guidance, but too hesitant to seek it. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Even if it is simply to say 1 if this struck a chord, or 0 if it did not resonate with you. I read every single comment. This is not merely about passing on knowledge. It is about building a community where men over 60 can be truthful, feel supported, and be motivated to prioritize their health. If you know someone, a brother, a friend, or a neighbor, who could gain from this, please share it with them. You might be the reason they decide to take that crucial first step. And if you appreciate this type of content, natural, evidence-based, and tailored specifically for older men, think about backing the channel. Whether through a modest donation, becoming a channel member, or simply helping to spread the message, every contribution helps keep this mission alive and expanding. Your well-being matters. You matter. I am privileged to accompany you on this path. Thank you for tuning in. Stay resilient. Keep exploring, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.